I'm 31 years old and my dad's still gonna have a heart attack when he sees me. I don't care.
My parents got over it when I started making more money than them.
75% of tattoo artists are men. That's a statistic you'll find over and over again. One Columbia University study from 2010 reported even higher numbers. But today, more women get tattoos than men do. The industry is changing. And Now and Forever Tattoo in Philadelphia is a perfect example.
I'm a hand poke artist, so I do that professionally, and then in the next year or so, like, I'm starting to learn machine. I'd like to find a way to marry the two, but it's very hard to go from DIY to a shop. We're very lucky here that there's some open-mindedness about the path of a tattooer because everybody has a different opinion about it. And some people feel really strongly about that opinion.
Apprenticeships are like often very inaccessible and sometimes can be like dangerous.
Yeah, like a lot of the women that we know or we've worked with just have like horror stories working with certain mentors.
Sadie and I were actually having this conversation a while ago about how it's pretty amazing the way that Kristel has met each of us where we are and given us like the exact kind of opportunity we needed.
Yeah.
Like each of us came here in a very different like place in our career and needed different things from her. And she, you know, provided all of those for us in the way that we needed them. And I think that's pretty special.
I was 15 years old and I had a friend and he had quite a bit of tattoos. And one day I was gonna hang out with him after school and he said, bring all your artwork with you. I talked to my tattoo artist and he said I could bring you to the shop today. I met a tattooer named Mr. Breeze and he talked to me about my art and becoming a tattooer. And then he took me a month later to an all-women's tattoo convention that used to be a thing. And when I walked into the room, I got overwhelmed and I just knew that that was what I was supposed to do. We got back from the tattoo convention and Mr. Breeze asked his boss if Mr. Breeze could apprentice me, and the gentleman that owned the shop said the only reason a woman should be in a tattoo shop is sucking or answering the phone. So it took me a year to find somebody that would teach me how to tattoo. That was 25 years ago. I did a 2-year apprenticeship. I've been tattooing 23 years since I was 18 years old. I've never done anything else my entire life. A lot of tattoo shops would take 50% of people's income and make them pay for all the tattoo supplies. So once you break it down, if you're getting a $200 tattoo, that tattooer is then only making $100 on that tattoo. And then you're gonna take away $20 to $30 for supplies. They're only walking away with $70. So I wanted to make a place where they got to keep way more of their money, and there's things that we do as the shop to like help out artists. Like we have a marketing person coming to speak and do a seminar on marketing. We go on field trips. So we get everybody outside of the shop where, you know, they go and do something fun, you know, but laughing and then going to a diner afterwards and just having camaraderie.
Today we're doing an ornamental piece with West African symbolism. In my hometown, it's super, super segregated. And while there was like black tattoo artists in my hometown, they were like more in the underground scene. But I knew if I wanted to be taken seriously, I had to go to like the more white dominated shops. So I went around asking if anyone would mentor me, but I kept getting met with no. And I couldn't figure out why, because I knew my art was good. But then I had a moment of like clarity where I was like, nobody in these shops are black and nobody in these shops are women. I do a lot of ornamental work, And what ornamental is, it's kind of the oldest style of tattooing that we know of. It was before you had a shop to go to and say, oh, I want a rose, a skull, and a banner. Like, it's more of an indigenous form of tattooing where it just focuses on decorating your body, just to kind of accentuate the natural human form. Like, a lot of it, I just want to emulate the root of tattooing, or like the first way we knew how to tattoo as people, or like what our ancestors were doing. We only get one body in this existence. And the fact that people are trusting us to decorate them is just kind of an honor. Like, every day we get to do something really big for people and be a huge part of someone's life and growth and chapters that they're on.
I like to do multiple different styles. I, specialize in traditional, but I'm always trying to pick up how you do fine line, how you do like pepper shading, how you do these certain things that normally I don't have access to the information, but like with all my coworkers doing like all the different styles, I can honestly just walk up to their stations and be like, hey, how you do that? Yeah. Oh, that's sick. Are you like shading with a liner?
Yeah, yep. It's just like a real tight 3.
Dang.
It helps get into those like really tiny spaces.
Yeah, no, that's teeny tiny.
Yeah, it's very small.
Super clean.
Yeah. First tattoo too. Killing
Really?
it.
How's it feeling?
Not bad, honestly.
Kristel, I think, for all of us, kind of is like our second mom. I love her. I genuinely am so grateful for her. And I think that Kristel has made Now and Forever be a very inclusive and loving space. And a lot of us here are part of the LGBTQ community. So creating that safe space in that aspect has been really nice, because it's kind of hard to feel that, especially feel that kind of like camaraderie amongst your peers.
We just get along really well,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
What did you say earlier?
It's like
Lightning in a bottle. That's what Mark calls it. Yeah, my partner says that, like, when you get a tattoo shop where everybody gets along, it feels so good for everybody. It feels good for the clients. It feels good for the workers. Like, everybody's happy.
Do you remember the show Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends? Where it was just like this cute little place and it was completely wacky on the inside. And sometimes people needed a home for just a little bit, but then sometimes there was people there for a long time. But no matter what, everybody knew that you had a place to go. I wanted to make it like that. Like, we have junior artists here, we have senior artists here, artists that have been tattooing 15 years, artists that have only been tattooing a year. And they're here to grow and figure out what they got going on in life.